Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Metrick, Executive Director for the Port of Seattle. I'm speaking first this morning because I want to ensure everyone that we're working here at the Port of Seattle every day to do everything we can to protect the safety, health, and well-being of our public and the employees, and that's what you're going to hear about today. But in the times that we're in, I want to say a few things before we start this, especially those on the line, please entertain us. I want to encourage that we are complying with all the CDC guidance here for this event and for the state and the King County guidance as well. So I want to encourage older adults 60 and above with underlying health conditions not to attend this event. I want you to, and the advice is to stay at home. I want those in attendance to limit contact within 6 feet of each other for 10 minutes or longer during the event. And the event is organized in such a way so that we aren't coming in contact. The employees that are here today have been screened for the coronavirus symptoms and will be every day, and they're excluded from this event if they're symptomatic. For those in attendance, we're actually monitoring to see if people have a fever, cough, and shortness of breath, and we'll be asked to leave if that happens. Obviously, hand sanitation stations are available to do this, and we actually ask everyone to participate in the CDC recommendations for hygiene. You should also know that for your safety that we've made sure that everything has been disinfected in the room as we continue on with the event. Now, I know those are just things that people take for granted, but I want to let you know we don't take anything for granted here at the Port of Seattle. And with that, I'm going to introduce Lance Little, the Managing Director of our airport operations here at SeaTac International Airport. Lance.
Thank you very much, Steve. My name is Lance Little, L-Y-T-T-L-E. I'm the Managing Director of Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. As many of you know, we're the 8th busiest airport in North America. This region depends on us, and we take our responsibility very seriously to operate a safe and efficient facility. Today, myself and our Port of Seattle Commission President, Peter Steinbrook, will walk you through some of the actions happening here at the airport to maintain our essential function and protect the health, safety, and well-being of the community. I'm going to ask Commissioner Steinberg to say a few more words, and then I'll come back and provide some additional comments.
Well, it's not the happiest of St. Patrick's Days, but it is St. Patrick's Day, and there is a little bit of good news. We are not announcing the closure of SeaTac Airport today, fortunately, and that is not necessary at this time. Seattle International Airport, where we're here today, of course, is an incredible transportation hub in our region. These are incredibly uncertain times and clearly unprecedented. Our number one priority is keeping our travelers, our residents, and our employees safe and well protected. SeaTac International Airport, SEA, is the largest transportation hub and gathering place in the 5-state region with over 51 million passengers annually. On behalf of the Seattle Port Commission, I want to thank our incredible leaders, Airport Director Lance Little, and for his leadership, as well as our Executive Director, Steve Metrick. We couldn't have better people at the helm today managing this crisis. I want to especially thank all of our 19,000 employees working at SEA who are keeping the airport running, including our airport workers, TSA and CBP, airlines, restaurants, and concessionaires. With thousands of workers spread among hundreds of different employers, SEA is also one of the densest indoor employment centers in our region. These are the people who make our travel work, and we are grateful for their sacrifices that they are making every day to keep the airport running safely and efficiently as possible. SEA is a critical transportation infrastructure that is vital to our region and the state, especially now with travelers trying to reunite with family after a school semester or an international trip cut short. The first responders and public health teams that are staffing up in this response are meeting a new level of need. And for the shippers and other businesses that need to keep the vital supply chain of goods flowing, everything from pharmaceuticals to equipment and supplies that need to travel to and through our region. We are so grateful to those on the front lines and behind the scenes who keep this airport functioning. The pace and scale of change is something that all business owners, from the largest to the smallest, and their many employees are struggling to navigate. We started to see how the effects of the coronavirus stand down really affect our facilities in the last 2 weeks. We're working urgently with our tenants and partners to discuss how the port can effectively join federal, state, and local relief packages to support businesses and workers across industries. While the situation is indeed unprecedented and extreme, this is not the first time the port has stood behind its communities. From the recession more than a decade ago, to the last year when we created an ad hoc donation center for employees affected by the federal government shutdown. The port, working in close coordination with our partner agencies, will continue to respond with all resources available to this crisis by putting public health and safety first. We're all in this together, and I'm fully confident and trust that our leadership team has the capability to tackle this, and know we must work closely together in a highly coordinated fashion to tackle this unprecedented challenge today and the days to come. And now I want to invite our Airport Managing Director, Lance Little, to share more specifics of what he's been doing to maintain the health, safety, and well-being of our passengers and employees who work at the airport. Lance?
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm going to start with the steps that have been taken by the airport. We've made many operational adjustments here in response to the changing public health landscape. The governor and King County issued a health order limiting the number of people at events and mandated social distancing. Transportation systems are not included in the limit for the number of people. However, the governor asks those transportation systems to increase their vigilance as they have been to maintain frequent cleaning of their facilities. 2 weeks ago, we shared new protocol underway at the airport to disinfect high-touch areas in the airport and on our buses. We increased our public health information throughout the airport and took coronavirus handouts to our tenants' work locations. So far, we've installed more than 140 sanitizer stations, and we have more than 100 to go. And our tech team added hand sanitizer stations to our airport app interactive map. So you can go on our app and it will actually tell you or show you where the locations of the hand sanitizers are. Official guidance is changing the way our tenants operate too. People are traveling less. Last year at this time, we typically would see approximately 50,000 people coming through our checkpoints. Now we're seeing 16,000 to 17,000 passengers coming through our checkpoints. Right now, there are destinations you cannot reach from the airport right now: Beijing, Shanghai, Amsterdam, and Paris. Officials have also directed bars, restaurants, and shops to close for 2 weeks or go to takeout mode only. Here at the airport, we really pride ourselves on our bars, restaurants, and shops. We worked very hard to help 20 of them open last year. It breaks our heart to see anything closed, but approximately 10 shops and restaurants have suspended operations at SEA right now. Dozens more shops and restaurants will stay open, some with reduced hours, to serve passengers through this time. The USO has temporarily closed their operations as well. And we have temporarily suspended our music program. Now, passengers are also experiencing changes. In response to the spread of the virus, the Trump administration expanded travel restrictions, which includes suspended entry of foreign nationals who have been to China, Iran, the UK, Ireland, and 26 European countries for the last 14 days. Directing Americans returning from China, Iran, the UK, Ireland, or 26 European countries to one of the 13 airports, including our airport, and directing to voluntary self-quarantine under CDC best practices. Screening of Americans returning from South Korea before they travel to the United States. Now, the port is not a border control agency. Screening and arrival passengers come from Department of Homeland Security and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Every day, our federal partners, our tenants, our passengers, and the port have faced new circumstances and adapted to meet our mission. You can help us by taking some important steps if you have to travel. First, stay home if you're sick. Only travel if you need to. If you're traveling, be very conscientious about what you touch. Don't put your boarding pass in your mouth and then hand that ticket to an agent. TSA will now let you carry up to 12-ounce size hand sanitizers. Please take advantage of that. Now, these small individual steps will benefit our entire community. Finally, I want to say something about our airline partners who could not be with us today. They're deeply engaged in our shared response. I'm incredibly grateful for their hard work and the compassion they have shown to our community. Now, this is going to be a very difficult period for everyone involved in aviation, travel, and trade. But we will get through this together.